silent instructions. When Abigail's quaking form seemed unable to move, London picked her up and placed her beside her brother. Before closing the three of them inside, she hurried back across the room, grabbing the extra blanket off the foot of the bed and snatching up Abigail's favorite stuffed animal, an orange hippo she'd named Mr. Orange. And then she switched off the bedside lamp. Doing her best to tune out Skye's horrified whimpers, London squeezed herself into the cramped space and closed the door. With Abigail under one arm and Carter under the other, she whispered assurances that they would be okay, that she would protect them. From whom she did not know. All she knew was she could hear two voices, neither of them belonging to her friends, and neither that she recognized. Slowly, she removed her arm from around Carter, who pressed himself closer to her side at the abandonment. Reaching into her pocket for her phone, she cursed softly when she realized she'd left it out in the living room. Tears that had been steadily building finally spilled over, splattering onto her arm. Her mind whirling with a kaleidoscope of alternative ideas, London stifled the need to scream when each one presented too high a risk of getting caught. If it had only been her, she might have tried. But with Carter and Abigail's lives at stake, she finally had to concede that without a way to call the police, their best option was to pray she and the kids would remain undetected while they waited for the intruders to get what they came for and leave. Still, with each tormented sound of torture that worked its way into the room, guilt threatened to consume her. The rational part of her brain insisted that staying put to protect the children was the right thing to do. The other part called her selfish and spineless for cowering in the closet. Without a watch or phone to tell her how long the nightmare dragged on, each second blurred into one ceaseless stream of muffled cries and hoarse screams, until silence, swift and sudden, crashed around them. Blood pulsing loudly in her ears, London gathered Carter and Abigail's trembling forms even tighter against her and forced herself to remain still. A near impossibility when footsteps moved from Skye's bedroom and paused outside their room. "Please, please don't come in here." All she had to protect the three of them were plastic hangers. A dizzying sense of relief swooshed through her when the footsteps moved on. The vibration of Abigail's frantic heartbeat against London's own chest helped her focus on taking deep, quiet breaths as she waited to see if the stillness would last, if the intruders had left. When an entire eternity passed without sound, she slowly and carefully scooted Abigail off her lap to sit beside Carter, who immediately tucked his little arm protectively around his sister. Leaning in close, London whispered, "I need you to both stay here while I go grab my phone. Do you understand?" "No, I don't want you to go." Carter's small fingers bit into London's wrist. "Please don't leave us in here." The pressure in London's chest felt like it might actually explode outward. "I know, sweetie, and I don't want to either. But I have to. I promise I'll hurry." In the dark, she pressed a finger against his lips to silence his next protest. "I know you're scared, but I have to get my phone so I can call for help. So, no matter what you hear, I need you and Abigail to stay absolutely quiet and wait for me to come back. Do you understand?" Two little hands touched either side of London's cheeks as Carter brought her head closer to his mouth so he could whisper into her ear. How will we know if it's you?" London closed her damp eyes against the fear and confusion in Carter's voice. "Do you remember when your mom taught you never to trust strangers who pretended to know you? She said anyone who was supposed to pick you up would know the secret password. Are you my mutter?" A tight fist squeezed her heart, remembering how Skye had thought it so adorable when Carter mispronounced the popular P.D. Eastman title.